Hello, dear friends. This is Shivakkumar, and good afternoon. Actually, many people are asking in my comment section and in my mails. So, what is an ASAP methodology, and what are the phases? Actually, so everybody know actually ASAP methodology as is used famous use for ASAP. I mean for the SAP implementation, and SAP is nothing but systems and application. And products in data processing. So SAP SC is a German multinational software company based out of Waldorf in Germany. So and then actually Pennsylvania, United States, and they jointly developed this enterprise software to manage the business operations and customer relations. The company is especially known for its enterprise resource planning software. Okay, and it's a big company. Actually, say I can say they implemented SAP in many different clients, and the current CEO of the company is Christian Klein. Okay, and it was founded in April 1972 in Germany, and headquarters at Waldorf, Germany, and revenue in euros is in as per the 2019 is to 2755.3 crores. Okay, so they have multiple products. Actually, they are competing with multiple different software packages in warehousing, purchasing, sales and distribution, production planning, quality management, and then whatever new aspects, right? Actually, the HR products and all this model, they have different competitors. They are serving as a different competitors, and as per the request from our friends, I would like to explain the phases in ASAP methodology, right? So ASAP stands for Accelerated SAP. That is the first thing. And second thing, its purpose is to help to design the SAP implementation in the most efficient manner possible, whatever possible. And then its goal is efficiently optimize time, people, quality, and other resources using a proven methodology to implementation, right? And the phases of ASAP methodology, as everybody know, actually project preparation, business blueprinting, realization, and then actually final preparation, and then go live and go live and support. So, ASAP methodology, actually, I can say, initiates the retrieval of information and resources. It is important time to assemble the necessary components for implementation. Some important milestones that need to be accomplished for the phases include obtaining the senior level management by stakeholder support, and then identify a clear project objectives, and then architecturing an efficient decision making process, and then creating an environment suitable for to change and re-engineering, and building a qualified and capable project team, right? So ASAP methodology phase 2 includes the blueprinting. So SAP has defined business blueprint phases to help extract pertinent information and about your company that is necessary for your implementation. These blueprints are in the form of questionnaires that are designed to probe for the information that uncovers how many company does business. I mean, what are the uncovered business process of the company of your client? So as such, they are also serve as a document for implementation, right? It's a guideline for implementation. Each business blueprint document essentially outlines your future business process and business requirements. The kind of questions asked are more generous to the particular business functions, as seen following the sample questions. Say, what information do you capture on your purchase order? What are the fields to be required? What information required to complete a purchase order when during the posting? So these are the basic. Just I'm giving the example. I'm going to cover in this video the detailed explanation on the ASAP methodology. Definitely, I hope that will be more useful to each and everyone. And third phases is a realization phase. With this completion of the business phases in phase 2, the functional experts are now ready to configure the system as per the business blueprint they gathered. So the realization phase is broken into two parts. That is, first one, your SAP consulting team help to configure your business systems or baseline system, called baseline configuration, and then your implementation project team fine tunes that system to meet your business and process requirements as a part of fine tuning configuration. The initial configuration completed during the baseline configuration is based on the information that you provided in the blueprint document. The remaining approximately 20% of your configuration that was not taken during the baseline configuration is completed during the fine tuning of configuration. Fine tuning usually deals with the exception that are not covered in baseline configuration. This final bit of twiddling represents the work necessary to fit the special needs, okay, and configuration testing, okay. So we have configuration testing with the help of the of your SAP consulting team. Your business process, right? Your business process, I can business process into cycles of related. You can segregate your business process into cycles. Say direct procurement. Within that we have procure to pay process, then actually consignment, and then subcontracting, outline agreements, like that. So you can segregate the process, right, based on the business flows. The cycle serves as independent units that enable you to test specific parts of business process. You can also work through configuring the SAP implementation guide IMG, a tool based use it to assist in configuration your SAP system in a step by step manner, okay. And then knowledge transfer. As a configuration and phase comes to close, it becomes necessary for the project team to self-sufficient in their knowledge of the configuration in your SAP system. Knowledge transfer to the configuration team asked with the system maintenance, that is maintenance of business process after go live, okay, and then that needs to be completed at this time. And in addition to end user tasked with actually using the system for a day-to-day business purpose must be trained in each and every process, okay. So those are considered very important. And the final preparation. So as a phase 3 merges into the phase 4, you should find yourself not only in the mid of the SAP training, but also in the midst of the rigorous functional and stress testing, okay. Phase 4 also concentrates on the tuning of your configuration before go live, and more importantly the migration of data from your old system or systems in SAP. Workload testing, okay, including peak volume, daily load, and other form of stress testing is also appreciated. And integration or functional testing are conducted to ensure the accuracy of your data and the stability of your SAP systems when more data to be handled, right. That is a called actually volume testing and everything. And because you should have begun testing back in phase 2, you do not have too far to go until go live. Now is important time to perform preventive maintenance check to ensure optimal performance at your SAP system. As the conclusion of phase 4 takes time to plan and document a go live strategy, preparation for go live means preparing for your end user questions as they are actively working on a new SAP system, okay. And ASAP methodology last but not least, okay, that phase is go live and support. The go live milestone itself is easy to achieve. So a smooth and uneventful go live is another matter altogether. So if you are planned well, then go live will be more easy, okay. planned and execute, right? The preparation, what actually in Tamil films, actually the famous actor Vadivelu will tell, actually you need to plan before executing. Without planning you cannot get success. All action to be planned. ஸோ சிம்பிளி கால்டு எதாக இருந்தாலும் பிளான் பண்ணி பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ வடிவேலுன்ட்டு ஒரு காமெடி ஆக்டர் இன் தமிழ் ஃபிலிம்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலி வில் சார் லைக் தட் வி நீட் டு ஃபாலோ த வடிவேலு பிரின்சிபல். ஓகே, எவ்ரி திங் ஷுட் பி planned and then executed. Without planning, there is no success. Okay, preparation is a key, including attention to what if scenarios related not only to the individual business process deployed, but also to the functioning of technology. And under planning this business process and preparation for ongoing support, including maintenance contracts and documented process and procedures, are more essential. So ASAP methodology is very important for any kind of business process, right? So that is I can say actually it is a well planned procedure to execute any SAP projects. Hello guys, this is Shivakkumar, and today I like to discuss about the current SAP recommended SAP implementation, that is Agile methodology, right? So in olden days actually we have actually back in the day when I was starting my implementation, ERP SAP implementation in the to the clients in the date back 2004, actually ASAP methodology was seen as a best practice, and many clients or many IT firms, they are preferring SAP best practice of ASAP methodology, and used by many SAP partners, and SAP even SAP itself actually they are using that. The consultants within the team had to learn the various different phases of the project and understand what is to be delivered, what are the documents to be created during each phase. So what are the planning activities to be done, what are the actions to be covered and in each and every phase. So normally what I understood is we need to have a detailed orientation of SAP projects, how to be structured, how to be formulated, how to be executed, all these things. So a typical ERP project for a larger enterprise could not be performed in less than 12 months. So it will take more than that. Actually, even I can say 2 years or maximum 3 years also. I can see some big clients actually they are having multiple location sites, manufacturing sites, distribution sites, sales channels, and a lot of things are there. And even actually procurements, they are having centralized procurement, corporate purchase and localized purchase, plant oriented purchase are there, and they need a lot of efforts to implement an SAP to bring all the local sites in one centralized server. So that really a challenging thing for any people, right? Actually it's not an easy thing actually to bring the new bring all the concept within, or structured all the phases within 3 months, like what we are doing in the new ASAP implementation, ASAP implementation activate or agile thing, right? So the question arises in mind of every people, why we need to give this much efforts for long period of time, and giving salary and even actually the IT cost and the instrument cost, the system cost, everything, right? Actually training the business users, it's a huge cost, and many clients actually when they tell actually this SAP is a costly thing and only for the public sectors or a government company can do that. So or a big Coke or Cadbury or Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Ford, Caterpillar kind of guys, they will do the SAP ASAP implementation. Why can't we reduce to less than maximum 3 to 6 months of time down the line? Actually they need to complete it. So the question comes in mind, are you ready for the new SAP implementation methodology? Then actually we came to the new phase, new methodology called SAP Agile methodology or SAP Activate, right? So this leads to the cost of the project being deemed expensive by the client. The main grips from the client, created to the time and cost of the projects and lack of tangible, I can say, the tangible benefits realized during the implementation, right? Over the past few years, agile methodology has become popular for SAP implementation. One of the reason for the switch due to the change made by the SAP within the products suite 15 to 20 years ago, SAP and ERP or R-bar 3 as their core product, which tried to put a number of systems and process into a single system. Over the time, SAP moved from this model by releasing the products like CRM and SRM, that is supplier relationship management, customer relationship management, and the supply chain management, right? BI, business intelligence, and started acquiring a number of solutions as well, like Ariba and everything, right? That SAP has acquired that. The main difference between ASAP and Agile was the speed. New functionality was released to the customer by reducing the scope and releasing a small chunks of functionality. The business started to feel the benefit earlier with less cost. Okay, and it also helped prioritize the scope of the functionality as the items that provided the least benefit, which not get I can say which which provided the least benefit would not get prioritize and may never make it. Okay, so for a consultant there was a big learning curve. I worked with Agile around I can say some few months, and it was a big shock. So I had to learn about the sprints and scrums, and I had to work much more as a team player. And plenty of consultants struggled with Agile, and technical consultants sometimes found the change to be more painful, as they had to open up and communicate as a part of the wider team, right? And I quickly saw the benefit of the methodology, not only from a customer delivery point of view, but also from the personal growth. I had changed my perceptions around the project implementation, and I currently promote agile implementation even for the large customers with the large scopes and time frames. Okay, so that is important. This opinion was backed up a couple of years ago with a visit to the Waldorf and chat with the product manager with in his office, right? Actually, I saw some of the new wallpaper, but on the close inspection, it was detailed on the current sprint that they were part, I believe, and I am happy to be connected there. Okay, and the agile methodology has been adapted by most SAP product management teams, which allows a new functionality to be released more frequency, which is often really a great. Say for example, SAP Cloud is there. Actually, they can release it once in 3 months. So actually 1809, so 1911, like that. Actually, they are just keep on actually updating the versions. And for the on-premise, every year actually they are trying to do that, upgrading the products. Okay. So, however, the new methodology I am sharing is referring to is Agile, but it is I can say actually it is not an Agile, but it is an RDS methodology, Rapid Development Solutions, right? So, as far as I am aware, there is not a formal name for this. I will refer a methodology, some X or Y or Z. The new technology aligns closely to Agile, which is far from the Agile. I can say from consultant point of view, there are a number of differences, right? I can say the scope is fixed and defined from. Normally, the scope is defined during the project, not before the project, right? And then the ownership of the task will differ. For example, testing and training, the responsibility of the client. The testing and training is a responsibility of the client, not be the SAP partner. Okay. So in case of ASAP, actually the testing and training, it is by the IT partner, and whereas in agile methodology, the testing and training will be the responsibility of the client. I mean the business, not the IT partner. Okay, this is the main difference, which reduces significantly reduces time and cost. Okay, most of the decisions are I can say decisions are made prior to the start of the project. Within the agile team will decide the priority of the release, which things to be released first, which things to be postponed, which things to be carried out after the go live and everything, and work close together with each other. And changes to scope are not allowed without a change request, right? But agile allows scope creep as long as it fails into a sprint. This is very important. In case of ASAP, changes to scope are not allowed without a change request. Without change request, we cannot do anything. But in case of agile, the scope creep, it allows a scope creep as long as it falls within the sprint. Okay, and what does this mean to consultants? So consultants that have moved from ASAP, that is waterfall, ASAP is based on waterfall method, to agile, should be able to move to the new methodology X or Y Z, so-called RDS, right? Rapid Development Systems or Solutions methodology, RDS methodology. So simply called, actually we have start, deployment and run is a pretty basic and allows rapid deployment. Okay, that is what I called. Actually the original name abbreviation of RDS is short, deploy and run, which is simply called a rapid deployment. Okay, the biggest concern is what I feel, right, with the new methodology, how changes are managed. The RDS is fixed price, scope and time, everything. Any change to the scope will impact the price and time of the project. The customers will be used to partners, allowing them to make changes and prior to the blueprint and sequencing in changes. By keeping the time frames, customers and consultants need to learn the scope of the run, deploy and start, deploy and run, that is a so-called RDS, right? As this is a legal requirement, it's similar to a consultant sticking to the scope defined in the blueprint, but the biggest challenge will be the customer not asking for the additional changes. Okay, the customer should always customer should be aware that changes are not allowed, and if they require, they will impact the price and time. It is therefore prudent for the client to ask a changes to the fund to be built into the project's plan. RDS, although popular, is a fairly new thing. One of the messages from SAP is a customer comes back in the RDS methodology once they have implemented. Okay, and there are customers who have broad programs of RDS, that is 6 to 10 in one to go, right? So it is well understood. As with the changes to Agile, the project manager become critical for the success of the project, and it is recommended that both the SAP partner and customer have their own project manager. They will need to work closely to align the expectations of the consultants, the customers, business users, to ensure for a greater success. It is clear that to me, the project manager with RDS experience will become a sought after resource over the coming months. Okay, so compared to an ASAP, the manager having the knowledge in ASAP methodology, so the manager who is having Agile experience compared to the Agile, actually if he is having RDS methodology of SAP implementation knowledge, he will be preferred more, because actually we have a great cut in cost, time and the project schedules, and actually the bigger work groups and everything can be partly reduced, and actually we can sequence and prioritize the task, right? So that I think actually compared to the waterfall method actually which was used in ASAP, right? So for the compared to that actually we have agile methodology based actually say called which was segregated into sprints and scrums, right? So and even more than that we have RDS methodology, run deploy start, run deploy, right? So actually that is will be a short term for any client, and the cost and time and employee resource and the proper sequencing, everything can be properly aligned. So as already said actually the body value management of execution, plan everything before execute. Without planning you cannot get success. So every எதாக இருந்தாலும் பிளான் பண்ணி பண்ணணும், பிளான் பண்ணாட்டி ஜெயிக்க முடியாது அப்படின்றது ரொம்ப இட்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டண்ட். ஓகே, ஐ ஹோப் ஆக்சுவலி யூ கேன் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் what is RDS and what is Agile and what is ASAP methodology. Okay, ASAP methodology is a very detailed methodology to implement SAP. It will definitely take over more than minimum 1 year for a larger enterprise to get into SAP implementation or complete the SAP implementation. And whereas in case of RDS actually, so you can complete in a 3 months of span of time, and even actually weeks of time actually some clients are doing with actually SAP S/4HANA cloud thing. So it is definitely a gift of SAP to their clients and partners, right? So I hope actually these are very useful for you to understand what is the implementation techniques. So I hope actually this is very useful. Thanks for watching my videos. This is Shivakkumar signing off.